living in a silent mind, freedom from suffering, pulling the plug. Revealing a silent mind requires an awareness of what's covering it, which is identification with thoughts and the belief in the story they create. Your self-image, the identity created by your conditioning, how you view yourself and your life experiences, all make up the story of you. Analogies and visualizations can help to see beneath that story and reveal a silent mind. For this visualization, imagine a sink with the old style drain stopper on a chain. The sink's taps, faucets, are permanently on and the plug is firmly in place. The continual stream of water represents the constant stream of thoughts entering your mind. The water rising in the sink represents this build-up of negative thoughts and associated feelings. With the plug in place, the taps are permanently open and the sink will fill until the overflow is reached. This visualization reflects the constant stream of thoughts entering the mind, filling our headspace with thoughts we can't turn off. Pulling the plug. To do something that prevents an activity from continuing. The activity is the thoughts filling up your mind. You do something by pulling the plug on that activity. In this visualization, pulling the plug allows the water to drain away, leaving an empty sink. The stream of water continues to flow from the taps, however, the sink can't fill once you've pulled the plug. The empty sink represents a silent mind, no longer filling with negative and unwanted thoughts. Thoughts keep arising, of course. Now they have nowhere to collect, so there's a chance of experiencing a silent mind. Most people hold on to unwanted thoughts that torment and trouble them. By failing to pull the plug, their sinks fill with water until eventually the overflow is reached. The overflow. The purpose of the sink's overflow is to provide a short-term release that prevents a flood. When the stress of too many accumulated negative thoughts and feelings reaches a certain threshold, the overflow is reached. For some, it can take years or even decades to reach that overflow. This is because the story of you has a huge capacity for holding negative and unhelpful thoughts and emotions. Although there are common themes, the overflow plays out differently for everyone. This could be any of numerous addictions and obsessive or unhealthy behaviours. You can see them playing out in other people's lives and possibly your own. Addictive behaviours and unhealthy lifestyles are attempts to escape the internal chaos of competing and conflicting thoughts and emotions. Addictions are the antidote to the seemingly impossible unification of oneself into a coherent whole that can navigate what is perceived as a capricious, incomprehensible and cruel world. The overflow can play out as an underlying feeling of anger, frustration or restlessness. Symptoms are boredom, manic episodes and the need for endless stimulation. For some, the overflow manifests as withdrawal from the world, combined with feelings of depression, loneliness and hopelessness. For others, there's a fluctuation back and forth between highly excitable states and depressive ones, along with impulsive behaviours and mood swings, the so-called emotional dysregulation. The overflow is a way of life for many people. The aforementioned behaviours are distractions, conscious or unconscious, to overcome the pressures and anxieties of daily life. This is suffering. A mind that isn't at the mercy of negative and intrusive thoughts and conflicting emotions has no need of distractions or obsessive goal-orientated pursuits. A mind that isn't touched by this constant stream of thoughts is free and at peace. This is freedom from suffering. The overflow is similar to a pressure control valve that prevents damage by keeping system pressures safely below upper limits. However, the sink's overflow doesn't have the engineering precision of such a valve and simply can't cope with a continual runoff forever. It's only delaying the inevitable flood. The flood is a serious event. Long-term anxiety and stress, together with detrimental lifestyles, can result in physical health problems and/or mental health crises. One's life becomes destabilized, and there's a risk of spiraling further into chaos, and in extreme cases, being unable to care for oneself or function in a healthy manner. This may result in becoming dependent upon family and/or healthcare professionals. Certainly it's better if the overflow is never reached and therefore not subject to the strain of preventing a flood, which is why pulling the plug in good time is healthier than hoping the system can cope. This visualization isn't going to work overnight, and so repetition is key here. Imagine you've had the presence of mind to pull the plug on your negative thoughts and they've drained away. What you will find is the force of the water pushes the plug back in place and the sink starts filling up once again. Basically, before you realize it, you've attached to the same or new negative and unwanted thoughts. And so you need to find the space to separate from your thoughts by pulling the plug once again. You will notice how the plug stubbornly moves back into place at every opportunity. Therefore, repetition is necessary in breaking the pattern. It's important to realize you're working against a lifetime of conditioning, of attaching to and holding and feeding off negative thoughts. This habitual conditioning creates and maintains the story of you.